Well, the market is finally showing signs of cooling off, specifically in my marketplace of Surrey, BC, but across the entire country. But where does that leave us? Price increases in the last 6 months have been out of this world, and now we're trying to find out what to expect in the new normal. In the new normal of real estate, that is, you see prices increase, and then they usually come back ever so slightly and then level out. In this month's Surrey Report, I'm going to go over the top 5 highest and lowest price sub areas or neighborhoods, sub areas, let's call them, of the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board within the city of Surrey and in each asset class. So this month's Surrey Report is going to be all about pricing. If you want to stay up to date on the market, specifically my marketplace of Surrey, BC, please remember to click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. But before we get into the statistics by sub area and which is the highest and lowest, here are the benchmark prices across the combined city of Surrey.
Surrey combined saw 601 detached sales for the month of April, which is up from the 132 sales recorded last April. The benchmark price is $1,396,000, which is up 4.4% month over month and up 28.1% year over year.
April this year, we had 478 townhouse sales and only 118 last year. And our benchmark price for a townhouse is $681,000. And that is a 4.4% increase month over month and a very substantial 18.3% increase year over year.
Moving into our condo market, we've seen 332 sales in the month of April, giving us a benchmark price of $438,400. That's up 2.9% month over month and 8.1% over the same time last year.
All right, so those numbers you just heard are nuts. Like you have to take them with a grain of salt though, because in April 2020, that was our first 2 weeks, let's call it 2 to 6 week portion of lockdown when the world shut down. So there was a lot less sales. So if you hear things in the news over this week about how crazy the amount of sales are, you have to remember there was almost no sales last year. So if you hear 2, 3, 4, 500% increase in number of sales, like I said, you got to take it with a grain of salt. And the numbers you did just hear were the whole city of Surrey itself. But what we're going to do is go over sub areas right now. Now, in the city of Surrey, according to the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, there are 26 different sub areas. They include, in no particular order, Cedar Hills, Port Kells, Whalley, Queen Mary, Boulevard, Bear Creek, East Newton, West Newton, Guildford, Cloverdale, BC, Fleetwood, Sullivan, Crescent Beach, Sunnyside Park, Grandview, Morgan Crossing, Clayton, King George Corridor, Pacific Douglas, Panorama, Fraser Heights, Elgin, Bridgeview, Royal Heights, Serpentine, and Hazelmere. Good, you got all that? There's going to be a test later. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to remember all these numbers, so let me have my eyes shift back and forth here. Let's start off with the most affordable asset class. Obviously, so our 3 asset classes are houses or single family, townhouses, and condos. I'm going to start with the most affordable, top 5 most affordable areas within the city of Surrey in condos. And coming in at number 5 is Bolivar Heights with $455,500. Number 4 is Queen Mary Park at $422,100. Whalley, surprisingly, the number 3 most affordable place. That's where all the investment is, remember, of $413,800. Now, that's likely due to micro suites, lots of micro suites in Whalley, but it is investor heavy as well. I am shocked by this. I did not know that Port Kells, coming in at number 2, even had condos. I don't think I've ever shown a condo in Port Kells. However, there are some live workspaces, that sort of thing, I guess, in that area. So they're coming in at $389,600. And the number 1 most affordable neighborhood to buy a condo in the city of Surrey as of this month in 2021 is Cedar Hills, coming in at $329,100. Now, what I was shocked, I guess I shouldn't be shocked, is I found out there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 classes or 8 sub areas within the city of Surrey that do not even have condos at all. So there may be some more expensive areas, but if they don't have condos, they don't make the list. So let's start with the 5th most expensive place to buy a condo within the city of Surrey is down in South Surrey in the neighborhood or the sub area. Sorry, these are not neighborhoods. These are sub areas of Sunnyside Park at $576,800. Next, after that, staying in South Surrey, and we're going to stay in South Surrey here a lot because it is the more expensive area, is Grandview at $581,500. Then followed by number 3, Morgan Crossing at 585. So really tight race and super tight race. And this is actually the only, I believe, unless I'm wrong, and I've been wrong before, this is the only spot at number 2 where we are not in South Surrey. And I think this might be the only Cloverdale area on the whole list today. Clayton Heights is actually the number 2 most expensive place to buy a condo within the city of Surrey, which is kind of shocking. Only beat out Morgan Crossing by about $1,000 at 586,800. And the number 1 most expensive place to buy a condo within the city of Surrey. And remember, the city of Surrey does not include White Rock, so they're probably higher. But the King George corridor comes in at $600,900. All right, let's shift into townhouses. And again, we're going to go at the least expensive to start. Honorable note here to Guildford that came in at number 6 at just a hair under 640. But you did not, sorry, Guildford, make the top 5 most affordable. I don't think these are going to be super shocking to a lot of people that know the Surrey area. But at number 5, most affordable spot is actually Bear Creek / Green Timbers at 629.8. Number 4 is Bolivar Heights, cracking 600 at 574,600. Wally, believe it or not, is actually the 3rd most most affordable place to buy a townhouse within the city of Surrey, 567,600. Kind of shocked here a little bit as well. Number 2, the most affordable place for a townhouse is Queen Mary Park, coming in at 565,500. Can't believe that. And the most affordable neighborhood or sub area, I got to start saying sub area. The most affordable sub area to buy a townhouse in the whole city of Surrey is East Newton, coming in at 564,500. Now going back to the other end of the spectrum, townhouses, again, there's actually 6 categories that did not have townhouses, or 6 sub areas that did not have townhouses. Do you think I'm going to get sub area in my head before the end of this video? And some of these are a little bit shocking, so let me tell you why as I go here. The number 5 most expensive place sub area to buy a townhouse in the city of Surrey at $794,000 is the King George corridor, otherwise known as King George. That's down South Surrey. Again, Panorama actually breaking the list here at number 4 at $802,000. Not a ton of townhouses in Panorama, but technically real Panorama has no townhouses, but Panorama does now go up above Highway 10, and there are some townhouses there. So 802 is Panorama. The number 3 spot, most expensive spot to buy a townhouse, is actually the northernmost part of Surrey, which is Fraser Heights, believe it or not. Not a massive sample set there, but it is coming in at 864,300. And then we're going to obviously head back down to South Surrey. The number 2 most expensive place to buy a townhouse coming in is actually Sunnyside Park at 988,300. Still not $1 million, but we are in South Surrey, and we're going to go all the way down into Elgin, which is Richie Rich town. Believe it or not, a townhouse, the benchmark price in Elgin, the most expensive place in Surrey to buy one, is $1.241,200. And now let's get on to single family detached, probably where most people have their interest. Notable here, actually, Royal Heights just edged out of the top 5, but neighboring onto Cedar Hills, which actually broke the top 5. So your number 5 spot for most affordable is Cedar Hills, coming in at 1.1456. And number 4 coming in is Wally. Not really a surprise there. A lot of the homes that are left in Wally that haven't been developed are, older homes. So 1.117,400 is Wally. Number 3 is actually West Newton, believe it or not. The number 3 most affordable place, 1.113. So these are all pretty tight to each other for the most part. So now let's get into the top 2, and cracking $1 million, believe it or not, is Bolivar Heights. The benchmark price in Bolivar Heights is actually at $958,400. Understandable, not necessarily known as the best area in town, and the most affordable sub area in all of Surrey. And I don't think I've ever actually sold a house here for a few reasons I'll explain to them, is actually Bridgeview, 747,300. Now, what I would suggest is you don't get excited about that number. It is townhouse numbers in a lot of other parts of Surrey. However, Bridgeview is it's got floodplain issues. There's a whole lot of industrial and stuff going on down there. There are some homes, but most of those homes in Bridgeview are very, very old. A lot of them were even railway houses from way back in the day. So Bridgeview is not a popular place to be, and I wouldn't get your hopes up that you're going to find your dream home in that area. And let me say, I'm super sorry if you live in that area. I don't mean to offend you. It's just not the popular spot to be. And I'm pretty sure the price is reflecting that. Okay, now let's go the other way. And I'm going to have some comments here too, because I'm seeing some really a little funny numbers. All right, so let me explain why. Edging out of the top 5 spots in number 6 is actually Fraser Heights. Now, Fraser Heights out of this area is one of the most actually livable areas, more affordable spots that broke in. They're just sitting just over 1.5, but Fraser Heights is, for the most part, smaller lots or standard lots, 7,000 square foot lots, and very livable homes, most of them these days with basement suites or ranchers. So they did not, however, make the top 5, but some of these top 5, I want to warn you, are not necessarily as a result of the actual home prices that you might think of to move to with your family. As a result, a lot of these have to do with land development and high prices according to that. So at number 5 is actually Serpentine. Now, Serpentine is a part of Cloverdale, and Serpentine is mostly farm. So they're coming in at $1,875,900. Again, the very, very large plots of land in Serpentine, not a lot of residential, but they will have a farm with a house on it and lots of land. Most of that area is all floodplain and agricultural land. So a little bit skewed there. I don't think many people are going to be moving into Serpentine. Also, next is Port Kells. Very similar. Now, Port Kells coming in at just over $2 million, $2,039,300. Lots of big acreages there that are now considering being developed in the future. Not a lot of people affording those. This one's kind of shocking, actually. However, number 3 most expensive place to buy is actually Grandview. Now, Grandview is a great place, and it actually made my list of top 3 places that you should buy a property if you're looking to move a family into the area. However, at $2,109,900, it does not look affordable. Let me kind of skew this ever so slightly. Again, Grandview has a lot of a lot of big properties that are being subdivided. So this number is probably skewed. They're still quite expensive homes because we are in South Surrey. However, at over $2 million, I wouldn't say that that is your average home in the area. Now, what is average in the area and a very expensive area is number 2 on the list, which is Elgin, coming in at $2.299, almost 2.3. Elgin is very large properties, luxurious properties, but they are for the most part single family homes and not a lot of subdivision going on in the area. Lots of new construction. That's where the money is at almost $2.3 million. I would expect if you're looking in South Surrey and you have the money to actually get into that spot, Elgin is the spot to be. However, I don't have that type of money, and most people watching this video probably don't either. And the number 1 most expensive sub area to buy a detached property in all of Surrey, believe it or not, is Hazelmere. Hazelmere came in at $2,900,500, believe it or not. And I'm going to say this is probably affected as well. Most of those big acreages are now being bought up, land banked, torn down, subdivided for greater density in the future. So just under $3 million for Hazelmere, the most expensive spot to buy in all of Surrey. So there you have it. If you're a numbers geek and you're interested in cost of living and all that stuff, this was fantastic information. If you're not interested in this, you left the video ages ago, so don't worry about it, and neither will I. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and in my next video coming up, I'm going to explain what that is back there. So watch the next one coming up in the next couple of days. We thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next month.